Hi there everyone, my name is TJ, and this is just going to be a shorter video because I just played a random entry in Blunder, the goated, like literally the goat of Pokemon YouTubers. I played in his Legends ZA OU tournament where you combine Megas with OU teams. I borrowed this sample team with a Veil stuff and replaced Zamazenta because I hate that cheap mon, as you'll see in front of me here, with a Mega Garchomp with the SD Scale Shot set. I was able to win 3 games, and I lost my 4th one in the quarterfinals. I was happy with my run because the first 2 games I actually didn't save the replays in time, but I have a clip that maybe someday will become a YouTube short or something like that. But I beat Rabs and I beat Chalk and Cheese Sandwich. Rabs is like an actual competitive pro, I believe. If not, he's at least a legend within the agency. I believe he won one of these tournaments before. And Chalk and Cheese Sandwich is a recurring character. I think he maybe was part of the Toxic Hippo gang. I don't know. And if you have no idea about Blunder or the agency, check him out because a lot of these references make no sense. But I had 2 really crazy games, so I'm going to show you 1 win and 1 unfortunate loss. But honestly, the loss was probably a better game. So we are going to mute the sounds here because just in case. So I'm here. I'm going to lead my Mega Garchomp. I'm going to Scale Shot and stay low because I thought I could get some chip and also be sure to outspeed it if I stayed normal. So then I go into Ninetales here because I'm like, well, if he has Heavy Slam, then there's no way he also has Crunch. He has Body Press, and I try to roar him out, but I just end up roaring Latias, so I go for Freeze Dry, getting a little bit of chip. I didn't calc this, but this is a pretty offensive Ninetales, and so I assume that this ended up being a defensive kind of Deoxys. I Mystical Fire just to make sure that he can't really do anything on a special attack. I went into Ninetales Alola to maybe just get some more chip here. Go for my own. I get lucky, dodge a Freeze Dry. I get lucky and dodge a Freeze Dry again. Stone Edge. I apologize at this point. You can't see it in the chat. Stone Edges, and I think I get to just... No, I don't. I was going to say I get to win from here, but no. I'm completely delusional. I do get some nice chip on Zaw, though. It's down to 67, which now means it dies to an EQ, a +2 EQ after screens. It's going to IDEF again. I mostly did EQ because I was expecting maybe a King Gambit or something like that. He's going to Body Press. I go for a Freeze Dry here, I believe. No, I Encore because I was expecting maybe another Iron Defense or something. And so, predicting Barb, I just go into Garchomp here because I thought Barb or King Gambit would be the best answer to Serral Edge, which looked free. I get a nice little crit into 5 hits, and now at +1, I do just win, unfortunately for him, because I now get to SD, and he can't deal damage to kill me and get faster than me. I have Iron Head, which did kill. The crit did not matter unless that was literal max, then nothing mattered. He baits me into a Scale Shot, but I end up calculating it that even after +2, +2, Fallen 2, this had like a 10% chance to KO. It could have done 87 max or something like that. So I get the EQ. I win from here. He says GG. Get the little EQ kill on Zamazenta. Just like I said, get the Scale Shot kill. It gets kill in 2 hits on Latias. And then Deoxys is going to die. So that ends up being a kill on that. Yeah, it ends up being a kill on Deoxys, Moltres, Barbarical, Latias, King Gambit, and Zamazenta. It got a true 6-0 win all on its own. So now let me switch on over to this game and making sure that my dimensions are right. Oh, got to switch the old viewpoint here. Yep. I'd seen this team in OU, and I knew enough to know that it was Balloon Gold and Webb's Mirror Coat. And I think it's Sash, I don't remember. But I knew this team well enough. Obviously don't know what Embor really does in this case, but I have a good idea. So I go for this, expecting him to maybe, I don't really know, but this was my best thing because I knew I could then encore him into webs or an attack, which would then free something up. So I encore him into that, and then I go into Gliscor because it's my number one setup guy. Goes into Glim, so I think I can actually set up on it, but it does end up being Balloon Gold, which actually was a set because its two attacks are Facade and Earthquake. So going to Hatterene, realizing I need to sack it here. He nasty plots and goes for the Shadow Ball, which doesn't end up mattering because I needed to sack it anyway. Ceruledge is Sash, so I get to go for a Poltergeist, which doesn't kill it, even with the crit. It's not physical, so I don't get the boost, sadly, which means that I have to end up basically sending out Ninetales here, and I get to just freeze dry here, getting the kill on Lando. He sends out Glamora, and that's going to get a kill, but that plays perfectly into my plan because now I've calced that Garchomp can live even a Terra Fairy Fairy Blast, and we know, and he can't do that if he specs, so I get to just Scale Shot for free here, which ends up giving me the speed boost I need to now be faster than guys, and it's going to allow me to Mega and Scale, so now I'm definitely faster than everything. And so now it comes down to this. Not this, sorry. I go for Iron Head, or I go for Sword Dance because I still live it. And I go for Iron Head, hoping that it's not Sash, and it's not. And now it comes down to my biggest moment, Emboar, which we know has Sucker Punch. So I SD on the first one. That's just a classic rule. Second one, I Sucker. I Sword Dance. Third one, I Sword Dance. Hashtag Boss Call. Earthquake. I get the call. Life read on stream, by the way. People reacted. I Iron Head. Don't get the flinch. If I could have flinched him there, I would have won the game. Flinched or crit. Doesn't matter, so I send out Gliscor to Agility to now be faster than Ogerpon, and then the only mistake I made in the entire tournament, it feels like, ends up happening here as I get the EQ, and then I go for a Facade on Ogerpon because I think that I can then Terra because I think Terra ends up not mattering because I can kill it with Darkrai or survive and be faster. Or not faster, I don't know. I thought I could live this for sure. Misses the Power Whip. Dark Pulse doesn't kill, and so I'm like, well, that's okay. Ivy Cudgel shouldn't kill. It does, but that's okay. So, if I would have known that killed after a turn of poison or something like that, or however much Power Whip would have done to Terra Poison, I would have actually rather Terra Normaled with Gliscor to make it so that Facade did 60, and then the Dark Pulse would have killed. But I either wasn't thinking that far ahead, or I just was too in my own head that I didn't die to Ivy Cudgel. Well, I think that Sucker Punch outplay and the Mega Garchomp 6-0 were enough to make this video worth making. And again, I won 2 games before that against really good players. So shout out to my opponents. Shout out Blunder. Subscribe to him. See you guys in the next one. Bye.